Hey guys, today I wanna watch this video from Raxx, 5 reasons why I'm optimistic about the future of Diablo 4. This video title caught my attention because he's saying he's optimistic about the future of Diablo 4, and I also love Raxx videos. Everybody does, everybody that plays Diablo at least. And you guys know that I am also like cautiously optimistic about the future of Diablo 4. Like I think that they have taken a lot of bad decisions, but I also think that, and I say this every time with my review of the new season, like every season is improving the game little by little, right? So if you compound of all of these improvements, the game is going to reach a good place, right? It will never be PoE. People have to stop wanting Diablo 4 to be PoE, not let them be two distinct games. But Diablo 4 can be a really good game on its own right. I believe it is already kind of good. When I play Diablo 4, I have fun. The thing is, like, you get burned out really quickly because there is like not much to do. But when I come back, I stop playing the game, I do other stuff, and when I come back to the game, I have fun again, depending on the season. Season 3 was awful. I didn't have any fun at all in Season 3. The season of the console, the one where you had the spider, that was awful. But it is already kind of good game, and when you get this compounding effect season after season, and now you are going to get the first expansion, I am cautiously optimistic because they do some stupid stuff sometimes, but also with this compounding effect and the new season, brother, I think the game is going to reach a good place, right? But I want to see what Raxx says in here to see if he has my same opinion, what other stuff he says in here. I wanna know it all, brother. Let's see.
Hi everyone, it's Raxx. I just took a trip to Seattle with Blizzard and Microsoft at the Xbox Studios, where I was allowed to live stream the world premiere of the Spiritborn. And this video
I watched that live with Raxx, by the way.
Make this video, but when I got back home and I had a chance to reflect about everything that I learned and my experiences, I find myself actually much more optimistic for Diablo 4's future than I have been in honestly a long time. And in the past year, there have been so many criticisms of the game, especially from me and other content creators and everybody.
By the way, well, they said a lot of them. There are people that are haters, but a lot of the criticism is well deserved, and it comes from a good place. At least I know that Raxx and myself, it comes from a good place. We want the game to be better. We point out this sucks, but it is not because we want to hate on the game, but because, hey, improve this so the game is better.
Really, I thought it might be time to make a nice positive video because I am truly starting to feel much better about the direction of the game. So let's get started with my top 5 reasons why that's happening. The first thing I'd like to start with is the Blizzard team itself. It's been a meme, or who knows, maybe it's actually true, I have no idea, that the Diablo team hasn't had good developers. They're very discombobulated. Their senior management has changed 100 times. They don't have a clear vision. They don't know what they're doing. This has been a common theme that we've heard over and over and over, and sometimes there's phenomenon where you just hear it or experience it so many times and you start to believe it, right? Well, one thing that I learned in talking to a lot of the members of this team that I got to meet on the trip is these guys are absolutely do not fit these insults whatsoever.
This is a really cool perspective because of course we can only speculate what is happening behind closed doors based on the product that we are receiving, but we don't really know what is happening. Raxx had like, he also, well, I don't know, maybe he can't tell, but he got a peek, at least he got a peek of how things are over there, right? He got some, like a privileged position where he could take a peek at how things are. So I am inclined to believe what he's going to say, right? I have also been, I have also thought like the mistakes that the Diablo team has made. I have said before, like, they are that mistakes. Like, I don't think they have been malicious. The only thing that I think that was not malicious or not with bad intent necessarily, but not only a mistake either, like something in between, was releasing the early game on purpose and just saying like we are going to fix it as we go. And that is not the fault of the developers, I want to believe. That is something more administrative, managerial, whatever. No, we have to launch the game. No, it is not ready. We have ship it as soon as you can, and then we fix it on the fly. That is the decision that I think it is not only a mistake, there is more behind that. But the stuff like making, I don't know, the season of the construct, that is a mistake. They thought the spider was going to be cool, the mechanical spider, and the mechanical spider sucked. Right? That is a mistake. Stuff like that, you know.
Got Brent. I think he's been in the industry for 20 years, and he's worked on masterpieces like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And they're talking about all these inspirations that they're getting from all these other godly games, like the fighting style of Street Fighter, and bringing it into Diablo.
Oh, I am sorry, guys. In my reactions, I yap a lot. Brother, when I see a video, oh, the video is 10 minutes long. Well, this is going to take me half an hour because I yap a lot. I am sorry if I will try to yap a lot less, but I have to say this. So yes, I am confident that a big part of the Diablo team is passionate about not only Diablo 4, but gaming in general. That is why you get into game development, right? Because you are passionate about games. And I have been thinking like, brother, game developer is not so an easy job, even less if you have to face the customer, like things like the position that Adam Fletcher is in, like the community manager for Diablo 4, or Joe Pepiora, or Joe Shelley, or Adam Jackson, or Rod Ferguson. I say that because yes, I think he's like, Rod Ferguson has played a big part on the mistakes made on Diablo 4, but that is another topic. I have a video talking about that, inspired on the video by my boy Hawk, by the way. You should watch those videos. But gamers are whiny bitches, and I include myself in there. A lot of the videos in this channel are whiny bitch videos, like whining, this sucks, and you have to deal with that with gamers, right? You get into the business because you are passionate about games, you start developing a game, and then you have to face gamers critiquing the art that you are making, right? So it is difficult to deal with gamers. The thing is that sometimes passion is not enough, and you might do something, just like in life, you might make a decision, do something that you think is the right move, and it ends up being the bad move, right? And I think that has happened a lot in Diablo 4. And the problem is that I believe that that has happened a lot in Diablo 4 because the underlying philosophy is flawed. And I have said this before. Like the philosophy regarding the skill tree, the philosophy regarding the itemization, the philosophy regarding endgame. Like the underlying philosophy on top of where they build all the systems has been flawed, and they have to go and tweak that out so all the systems that are built on top get fixed, in quotes. So I don't think that the Diablo 14, at least the vast majority of them, the developers per se, are acting in bad faith. I have never thought that. Maybe the managerial stuff, but that is another thing. But passion sometimes is not enough. Sometimes wanting to do the correct thing, you end up doing the bad thing, right? So, but I am yapping about something else. Let's see what Raxx says in here. But since we are talking about optimism in the future, when someone has their heart on the right place, you are more lenient with them. You are more giving. You are more forgiving. Okay, do it, brother. Try again. Let's see where we get up, where we get to.
Hello. And just pretty much across the board, everyone that we met, Macro told an interesting story where he wanted to like pick at some of the team members and talk to them about lore. I don't know anything about the Diablo lore, but Macro does. And he said he was blown away with their knowledge of it and how it was correlated to the expansion and the story. And he was actually educated and taught a lot of things by the Blizzard team members. Then we got to meet Bjorn, who made the Spiritborn. The Spiritborn is the joke on the internet, and he's just such a nice guy, and you could tell he's been working on this for so long, and he knows all the design front and back, and he already has ideas on how to make it better. And they went through way more like prototype spirits that they were going to put in the game before they settled on these initial 4. So one thing that I can tell you as someone who was there, meeting the team face to face, having conversations with them at lunch, at dinner, in the Xbox studios, trying to actually learn about the expansion, I was actually very surprised and very impressed by how much they knew and cared about Diablo. It made me feel very good. The second thing
Nice.
is feedback, kind of the community. Well, we went from in the Diablo 4 alpha, like way back in the dark ages, the way they were kind of getting feedback is by pulling me and Woody aside, and we're writing, these 10-page documents about everything that we think about the game. And now it's a lot different. And it's not just a lot different from how we see it in the community, it's a lot different from how they actually explained it to me when we were there in Seattle. So I think they're starting to learn, or maybe they always did know, but now they're actually putting in the infrastructure to actually get tons and tons of feedback so they can actually put it in the game. It kind of correlates into the...
That is important because it doesn't matter how much feedback you get if you don't take it. Like, if you don't act on it, Like, I know that you don't have to put in the game the solution the player is giving, but the feedback tells you there is a problem. The job of the developer is identifying the problem through the feedback and then providing the right solution, because sometimes the players provide the solution they think is the correct one for them, but it is not the correct one for the game. True gamers understand this, right? The problem is that if your underlying philosophy, as I said earlier, is not the correct one, then the way you interpret the feedback can also be flawed, So we have to fix all these things so that take feedback on the underlying philosophy, so the compound effect generates the correct outcome. Because if you put the feedback through this filter of your philosophy that is already flawed, what is going to come out is also going to be flawed, right? And I am not saying necessarily that everything is bad and it is going to keep happening and it doesn't matter, the feedback is bad, there is no optimism. No, this is just an opinion, so this is my feedback. Hey, take a look at your underlying philosophy so that the feedback you take also gets put through a cool philosophy so the outcome is good. That is my feedback, right? Because I am also optimistic, but I am trying also to take the other side in here, to talk more about this.
The next thing that I'm going to say for number 3, but they've spent so much of this last year redoing what they already built that everyone has to be sick of it, right? The players are sick of it. They release something, it doesn't quite work. Oh, they have to redo armor. Oh, they have to redo resistances. Oh, they have to redo the items.
Like I said earlier, everybody knows that the game was released earlier. We don't know why. Someone told them release the game, and they had to basically rework the entire game on the fly because the game wasn't ready.
Oh, we released the Abattoir of Zir and people don't really like it. Oh, Season 5 PTR. No, I give them credit. It's PTR. You can release whatever you want. You got a month and a half to fix it. No one liked the Season 5 thing. it's constantly redoing the same things over and over and over. And then they're seeing now, of course, that if you run the PTRs, Season 4 got infinitely better from the PTR to the launch. I'm expecting the same thing as Season 5.
I agree with
We've
this.
already seen some of the changes that they're getting.
Like PTR has some pros and some cons. Like the cons is like people get spoiled and you know what is coming and you can kind of play the season before the actual season comes out if you play the PTR as a content creator. That happened to me in the Season 4. I played the PTR and when I actually played the season it was like I already played this. It wasn't the same excitement. And there was no season theme in that season and that also was a drawback, right? But maybe that con is not as bad as the pros you get, where it's like, or as Raxx is saying in here, now you have a lot of time to fix all the stuff that is flawed that would have launched in the season and people would have complained. Now you won't have that because you will have time to fix it. So that is a big reason. And only sweaty people or content creators play the PTR, brother. No, not a lot of people play the PTR. The majority of the player base plays the actual release of the season. So I think they should keep doing PTR and only don't do a PTR or do the PTR and keep a small part of the PTR if it's something crazy like something spoilery, story related, or a big boss battle that you don't want people to practice ahead of time or whatever. But all the other stuff, yes, keep the PTR.
Going to do, it will make it a lot better. So they are putting in the infrastructure. They have a lot more ideas on how to get our feedback and actually implement it into the game and do it early. So that way we can make Diablo 4 a much better experience for everybody. Correlated to number 3, remember how we were talking about how Blizzard spent a lot of this year redoing everything over and over and over? Finally, they are at a point, I think, where they can actually start creating things for Diablo 4. And that's going to feel so good, right? Like,
I agree. Do I think that with the content we are getting in Season 5, that is a state where the game should have been released at when the game released? I can say that yes. Yes. If Diablo 4 released as it was even in Season 4, it wouldn't have gotten so much backlash. In fact, people would have liked it, and we would have a better game right now, right? With the compounding effect with the seasons. But now we are going to get the expansion and the compounding effect with the seasons. And again, that is what makes me optimistic, because what is Raxx is saying here, you fixed the base game that I think it is not all fixed, because you guys know that I have my thing with the skill tree and the Paragon board. But let's assume that the game is fixed. Now you can build upon it, right? Because the game is fixed, you don't have to worry about reworking. Now let's build the game, right? On top of the game. So that is a good mindset for being optimistic, of course.
Like Hell Tides are fine, Nightmare Dungeons are fine, Running the Pit is fine, Killing Duriel is fine.
The other thing, he's saying all the things that are fine. You know what isn't fine? You know what sucks? You know what? I have a long time even not hearing people saying they even do that. The Gauntlet. When was the last time you heard someone doing the Gauntlet, brother?
But we really, really need more things. We need more exciting things to feel good about the game. A lot of people are joking now, am I going to really spend $40 for Green Monk? I mean, that's a fair argument. Correlated to number 5, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But
the thing I am most excited about the new season is the raids. Please don't disappoint me with the raids, brother, because that is what has me excited. In my mind, I am going to pay the $40 for the raids, because I am going to keep maining Druid. Yes, I will try the Spiritborn, but my main is going to keep being a Druid. Make the raids good, brother. So I say that because I am not paying the $40 for the Spiritborn. I am doing it for the extra content to play with my Druid. Make the raids good, brother.
Of course, there's going to be more to the expansion than that. This is just Blizzard's way of trickling in the information. But I'm excited to see what the gigantic Blizzard team, Diablo team can do when they aren't spending all day redoing what they already made. And one interesting fact that I figured out when I went to Seattle is the Diablo 4 team, as I understand it, is actually the largest Blizzard team. It's bigger than the WoW team, for example.
What? That is mind blowing, brother. This correlates with the video I released a couple days ago. You remember that video? And if you haven't watched it, I recommend it. It is a good video. When I said the amount of content the PoE team is releasing with a smaller team and a smaller budget related to what WoW is releasing for the expansion with a bigger team and a bigger budget. And people were saying, well, we don't know how big the Diablo team really is. And I didn't say anything because that is true. I didn't really know how big the Diablo team is. But look at what Raxx is saying in here. The Diablo 4 team is bigger than the WoW team. Brother, and WoW, you can say whatever you want about WoW Retail. You can hate it. I love WoW Retail. I think it is awesome. But Retail WoW has a lot of content. You can say whatever you want about WoW Retail, but that bullshit releases a lot of content. Right now we are in the pre-patch and they are doing an event or whatever that is really not a big deal, but it is content. Compared to Diablo 4. So that is what makes me doubt about what is the Diablo team doing. Because if it is a bigger team than WoW and you see all the things that the WoW team does, what is happening with the Diablo team? It is weird, right? It is weird. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about it, because again, we said at the start they have passion, they want to do a good job, but what is happening then? What is happening?
So it would be much more interesting to see the new stuff than redone versions of what we've already seen.
Maybe it's that they were stuck redoing things because they were forced to release the game earlier, and now we have to see what is going to happen when they actually create new stuff. Let's give them the chance, right?
The fourth thing is maybe a little bit hard to see if you were watching as a viewer, but I can tell you, sitting in the chair playing the demo, there was certainly a level of polish to the Spiritborn. There was a level of polish to the expansion that I just have not felt in the original game.
And that is insane, because you guys know that one of the things that I have said to you since the beta for Diablo 4, you know that we got like a week or a weekend. We got a little bit of time when we got to till level 25 in Diablo 4 that I told you. Since then, before the release of the game, Diablo 4 is one of the games with the best feeling I have ever played in my life. And I still maintain it. And it is better than PoE in that aspect. It is better than Last Epoch. It is better than a ton of games. The way your character moves, how it feels to play the game, how it feels to cast the skills, Diablo 4 plays really well, guys. You can criticize Diablo 4 for a lot of things, but this isn't one of them. The game plays really well. And then he comes and say that with the expansion it is going to feel better. That blows me away, because the base game already feels really good. So, okay, that makes me more optimistic, because wow, that is one of the best things Diablo 4 has. The game plays really well, and he sees that it is more fluid. Wow.
It seems like, first of all, well, Blizzard already has like the best underlying engine and the best graphics currently of any ARPG. The
exactly.
One that's going to rival
He's
it
saying
is PoE 2.
And the atmosphere is also... Brother, and I have seen the things for PoE 2. I am really excited about PoE 2. But still, Diablo 4 has better graphics and better atmosphere. I haven't played the beta, so I can say how it plays. We have to wait and see. But in terms of graphics and atmosphere, because just being in the world of Diablo, in Sanctuary, and with the music and the atmosphere and the thing, that already immerse you in another world, right? That PoE, just by virtue of being PoE and not Diablo, will never have. right? And I am not saying it in a bad way. I am just, this is like a compliment to the Diablo IP, and that is not something that just the Diablo 4 team accomplished. This is something that has been building up since Diablo 1, right? And of course, Path of Exile, you can say that it is superior in gameplay, in design, in complexity, in whatever, but the IP, there is no question and no doubt about it in here, right? We know that the Diablo franchise and the world and the world building and whatever, it is on another level, dude. But again, it is by virtue of being a long-standing franchise.
Excited for that in November. Right now, I think Diablo 4 just gets a big W here. But the way that the Spiritborn moved and felt, even on this demo version, which is already many iterations behind what will be released, it felt like a higher tier than the other things that I've seen.
That is awesome for me, because I think that the feeling of the game is one of the best things. Bro, I told you in another video, Diablo 4 is a great game. In season 4 it was like that. If you wanted to just knock things and disconnect yourself and kill monsters and feel good doing it, Diablo 4 was awesome. Like having a movie, a TV series, and a stream, a YouTube video on the second monitor, and just blast and kill monsters without thinking about it. Diablo 4 is awesome, dude, because it feels good casting your abilities and destroying monsters. It is just like that, brother. And if they are going to improve upon that, that is awesome. Then if you want to think about builds and doing crazy stuff, maybe Diablo 4 is not the game.
Which felt really good. Another thing about it is when you were playing Diablo 4, everything was dark, dreary. There were only like 2 colors used in the whole game. Everything is just...
People, and I know I am on the minority here, people always criticize that. And I think that is one of the strongest points of Diablo 4. I like the atmosphere and the immersion and the world and the aesthetic because of that. If they go with the colors and the thing and they take you out of the immersion, it will not be the same game. I hope they don't listen to that bullshit feedback that everything is too dark. No! Keep the game dark, brother. I like it that way. Keep it that way, please. And I have seen the jungle. People are saying, no, it doesn't feel so dark because now we are in the jungle. And that is good, but the jungle also has to be a dark jungle. And from the videos that I have seen, they maintain the aesthetic. They are in the jungle, but the tone of the game has been maintained. And I hope that is the case for when the game releases, because, brother, that is one of the strongest things about Diablo 4. The aesthetic, the atmosphere, the color palette. If they change that, they are changing one of the coolest things about the game, in my opinion. And I know that some people think that the game is too dark and too boring and the color palette sucks. In my opinion, they are totally wrong. This is an artistic choice that gives identity to the game, brother, in my opinion.
Red and black, which is fine. It's like an evil theme. But I felt such a relief that they're finally opening it up a little bit, and we see some lush green jungle. I saw some quest markers that were magenta or whatever. It's like, oh my god, they actually put some...
That is cool. But by the way, not all the game is like that, brother. When you go to the dry steppes and to Kyrgyzstan, where you are in the desert, you get sun, you get sand. That is not dark, but it is done in a way that it blends good with the aesthetic of the game. And I have seen that with the jungle, and I am happy they are. Even when you are in a different zone, you still maintain the aesthetic of the game. That is cool.
Colors in the game, to me, that made it feel a lot.
But we have always, I know that I pause a lot, guys, sorry, I yap a lot. But again, we know that the art team in Blizzard, in every Blizzard game, is awesome. The problem with Blizzard has never been art. In fact, art is their best thing. In the design department is where we get mixed opinions.
Oh my god, they actually put some colors in the game. To me, that made it feel a lot better. And there's a lot of other things coming, but I think the expansion is going to bring a polish to the game that we just haven't seen so far yet in the base Diablo game. And then the final thing is, well, certainly Blizzard is holding back a bunch of secrets from us, right? we're not paying $40 for a green monk for the expansion. Certainly there's more. There's been a ton of leaks in the last week, people thinking that they're figuring stuff out. Oh, they're redoing this. Oh, the new level cap is 60. Oh, the Paragon is different, this or that. I mean, maybe. I do know some things that I cannot share with you. That's for Blizzard to share and not me. But certainly Blizzard is holding some things back that they will announce whenever
This
they're
is
ready.
good to know.
Which is going to be pretty exciting for a lot of people, I believe. Some interesting mechanics that might bring a lot of players back to the franchise if they're.
Raxx knows that there is something cool over there, brother. Okay, this gets me excited because Raxx is approving it. He's giving it his seal of approval. He's saying there is something in there that is going to get people excited. Okay. I am excited already, bro.
They're kind of straying away from it. Anyway, to put a bow on this entire topic, I did come back from Seattle feeling better about Diablo 4 than when I went. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure if that was the way that it was going to go.
Okay, I understand that, and I am happy to hear that, and that makes me optimistic. But at the same time, and by the way, this is not something like to say, no, you are wrong. I am just trying to look at this from different angles, right? We could also be having here a recency bias. Like, I put myself in his shoes. Like, brother, if Blizzard invites me to go to their to one of their facilities and be over there and talk to them and play the game, to me that would be an awesome experience, my dude. You know, I really doubt that I would come out of there saying, oh, that sucked. The game sucked. The team sucks. No, I would be grateful because of the opportunity. I would have tons of fun. So my outlook on the whole thing will be optimistic. You know what I'm saying? Because that is in the spirit that I am. Oh, I just did this cool thing. Blizzard invited me. They were cool with me. We shared some moments. We shared the game. We did some interviews. This whole thing was cool. Of course, I am going to be optimistic, right? So maybe that is playing a part in here. But at the same time, I am also optimistic and I didn't go to Seattle. So I am just saying that, right? And I am saying it with myself to not put Raxx in the position that, oh, you are just saying that because they invited you. No, I would be like that. I don't know if he's like that, you know.
But loved meeting the team. I loved hearing their ideas. I was very honored that they invited me and they were willing to consider our ideas. They brought me, Fame, Macro, and Woody into some conversations and genuinely asking us, what do we think? How will this impact the game?
Nice.
So that made me feel very good. I'm always happy to give my opinion. Not always right, but I'm always trying. So I guess that counts for something. Anyway, wanted to put a positive video out there. Not every video that we publish has to be just shitting on Diablo 4.
I agree with that, brother, because, and I feel that that is a thing that happens with Diablo 4, brother, and I feel that in this video it might happen too, because I've been positive in this video, but I have other videos where I am negative, and people say, you only say what you think it will be good for clicks. No, brother, I just say what I think, you know. Sometimes in some aspects that is negative, sometimes in some aspects that is positive. The thing is that people are like two extremists. If you say something good about the game, then you are a Blizzard bootlicker, a Blizzard fanboy, and you don't know anything because the game sucks, you know. And if you say something bad about the game, then you are a doomer, you are a hater, and you just criticize everything. And if you don't like it, don't play the game, you know. Brother, what are we doing in here? Let's have balanced opinions. Let's look at each thing. I have some cool opinions about something. I have some bad opinions about something else. That is how this works, my brother. And I always say what I am thinking in the moment. Maybe in 2 weeks, I will release a video contradicting something that I said today, because in those 2 weeks, I changed my mind. If you don't ever change your mind on a topic, what are you doing with your life? In my experience, we evolve because of new knowledge that we get, and that affects our opinions on things, right? So I am saying all this because I know that some people are going to get this video like, oh, now 2 weeks ago or 3 days ago you said the game that they don't know what they are doing, and now you are saying that you are optimistic. I have always been optimistic, brother, and I have said it in the videos. But just trying to quench that, brother, it depends on the topic, it depends on the day, it depends on a lot of things. And trust me that I always say what it is on my mind on the moment. What is going to generate clicks or views is never on my mind, because honestly, I don't know what generate clicks or views. Do you really think that if I knew what generate clicks or views? I am almost at 2 years in my YouTube channel and I don't have even 4K subs. Do you think that if I knew, I wouldn't be doing it to have 100K views, subs, or 1 million subs? I don't know, brother. I am just here doing videos, sharing my opinion on things, and if people like it, cool, and if people don't like it, bad luck. I can't do anything about it. I'm just saying it because some people say, when I am too positive, some people say, oh, you are being positive because you are doing it for views. And if I am negative, people say, oh, you are being negative because you are doing it for views. What views? I don't have any views. I am just saying what I think, brother. And that is another thing. What I said earlier, you can be positive, you can be negative. Everybody dislikes everything. Screw that. I am just going to say what I want. And that goes hand in hand with what Raxx was just saying.
I think Blizzard is doing some good things. I would not be surprised if things continue to improve for Diablo 4.
I agree
what
with that too.
happens in Season 5 and the expansion, but I'm genuinely looking forward to it. Thank you.
Same. As I said in previous videos and in this video, I think that the compound effect with the seasons and expansions, because they also said like every year they are going to release an expansion. People were pissed off at that because, oh, they want more money with a yearly release. And I saw it the other way. Well, if we get a yearly release, we get more content. Let them do it, right? So I get that with this compounding effect, the game could get to a really good place, and I am optimistic. But as I said earlier, cautiously optimistic, because I also don't want to be disappointed, right? It is better to be surprised, pleasantly surprised, than disappointed, right? This was an awesome video, Raxx. Thank you for the video. Awesome video as always, my brother. I don't know if Raxx knows that I exist, or if he has ever watched some of my videos talking about his stuff, but I really like his videos. And yes, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about this whole thing. You guys know that I love reading comments. Do you think that Diablo 4 has a good future? Do you still think that D4 is bad? Do you think that D4 is going to keep being bad? Or do you think that it is going to be good? What do you think about the whole thing with the new expansion? Let me know everything in the comments below, brother. I love reading comments, even when they disagree with me. Trust me, I like reading comments. I don't know why. Let me know everything in the comments below. Remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff, brother. Help me out. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.